When you look at central bank policy right now and the impact for markets, are they acting as a team? Are you seeing coordinated action, or do you think we've still got decisions to be made in silos, whether it's the ECB, the BOJ, the Fed?
I think it's still incredibly silent, to be quite honest. I mean, I look at what the Bank of England is potentially promising. That looks as though that is entirely inwardly focused. Some of us might argue it's entirely inwardly focused on sterling. You look at what the Bank of Japan is possibly likely to do, and again it seems very much designed to A, boost markets, and B, send the currency lower, and yet we have a Fed that's sitting there watching this, wondering what it does, and an ECB sitting on the sidelines looking frankly vaguely confused. So no, I don't think they're working in coordination. I didn't really hear anything out of the G20 meeting either that encouraged that view either.
Simon, when you talk about the Bank of England here, the markets moved a bit on Kristen Forbes last week saying we are in no hurry to move on rates. When you look at that UK PMI data, extraordinarily weak, you might say. Do they have a choice?
You know what, they always have a choice. But I have to say that the guidance has been so crisp and so clear in the minutes of the last meeting and in what Mr. Carney had to say back in early July and the end of June. It's hard to see that they're not going to make that rate cut. And I have to say that the guidance we got with regard to sterling was also perfectly clear. He thought that when we were heading lower, it was the right direction to travel. He wanted to see it as part of the process of easing the current account deficit, and that's such a consistent part of what Bank of England governors have had to say for 20 or 30 years.
So sterling today, 131. Do you think it's going lower, even though we're going nowhere at this point?
For the moment, you're right, he's going nowhere. But the fact of the matter is, we've taken out the political uncertainty. We've even had the uncertainty about whether the Bank of England is going to move or not, and we've not gone higher. We're still in the low 130s, which tells you that really that move from 150 to 135, that's about long-term uncertainty. That's about, you know, when do we trigger Article 50? Do we have Brexit heavy or Brexit light? What do we do with fiscal policy? And I have to say, I think we're going to end up with a combination of easy fiscal, easy monetary policy. We're going to see the same attitude that UK politicians and officials have taken for, well, in fairness, since the early 1930s, which is let sterling take the strain. So for the moment, it's easy, but do I think we're heading lower? Absolutely.